Happy Halloween to everybody. We're doing a bald dude hat trick today. Just want to give you a market update here with Brad and Lance and me, and we're just gonna BS around for a few minutes. So
break it down.
Hopefully it's interesting.
Yeah, good discussion. Really, before we came on camera here with where things are at. Still, I think a lot of uncertainty, but we're just kind of cutting it up about where things are at, and it's really boils down to expectations, I think.
Yep.
Some houses are still selling rather quickly, but others are sitting in it, and it kind of makes us think, what is going on? Makes our sellers think what is going on. But again, your house is sitting for 5, 6, 7 days, and you're not getting offers and very few showings. We're kind of heading back to where things used to be.
Probably should be.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I mean, I think we're all kind of seeing this, prices are still up, right? Values are still there. It's still a great time to sell. And on the other side, it's buyers have options in terms of, asking for different things in terms of not having the greatest financing. They can still buy a house, right?
Yeah, so I got a VA buyer under contract this last week, probably 23, 24-year-old kid. 6 months ago, he had no business buying a house at all. And we actually got probably about 75% of his closing costs covered by the seller. So he's gonna walk in with $2,000 in his pocket and own a home.
Yeah.
He's one of my renters. I'm gonna let him out of his lease. And we just got through inspections, and house is vacant. He'll be able to move in probably start to finish 30 days. So
When you say no business buying a home, he just wouldn't have been able to buy a home. There was no chance for him back a few months ago.
Yeah.
And that's, I had several buyers over the years that just there's just no way. You couldn't compete. And while rates are up, it's giving those people an opportunity now to jump in and actually find a home. Have inspections. The last 2 deals I just wrote, 10-day inspection periods. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We can actually do inspections and have the full 10-day shot at getting the house checked out. We just weren't there.
Right.
it's like the pre-COVID normal,
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
if it's a crappy house, overpriced, you're gonna be able to get it for less 30 days later.
Yeah. And get a couple of things taken care of.
Yeah, and sellers are still happy with values, right? I mean, I'm running into buyers and sellers on both sides, right? People are happy with, the end result on both sides of it.
Yeah. I think we're seeing a few, price reductions. People are still pricing out of this world in some cases. And then it sits on the market for a couple of weeks with not much activity. And I'm seeing, some prices coming down just a little bit, but ultimately it's not much. And overall prices, I guess across the board, certainly aren't crashing. They're not even close.
So September 21 to September 22, they were up over 11% in Kent County closed deals. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Even if it's 5% next year, it still makes it worth paying 7% interest rates for maybe a year or two before you refinance.
Well, I think we touched on this before too, even though it is higher interest rates, your young buyer, your buyers that couldn't compete before because they didn't have 30, 40 grand to cover appraisal gaps, appraisal guarantees. Now they can get in, they can afford the monthly payment, they just didn't have all the other stuff available to them. And now they're able to get in there and buy houses.
Yeah, but people still need to buy houses.
Yep.
People still need to move. Inventory, let's talk inventory. It's still low.
Yeah.
And why that is, I don't know. I suspect it's because a lot of people that have current mortgages with high 2s, 3% interest rates really aren't looking to be in a position to where they're paying 7. They're going to try to wait. But a lot of people, they just can't help it. They're moving jobs, whatever the case is. Homes still have to move.
Yeah.
So, I think things are heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's not as super crazy as it was, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
Lumber prices are coming back down too,
Yeah.
which is helping on the new build front.
Good.
You know, they are still building at a not as quick rate, but maybe 6 months ago you looked at a new build, might be worth revisiting your numbers for that.
Yeah.
To see where your lumber package is at. You know, maybe that number comes back into being affordable again.
Yeah.
I know builders are, the specs, we're not seeing the specs like
For sure.
they were doing.
Yeah, totally.
More custom builds. But, yeah, things are certainly slowing down a little bit, but not to the point where anybody needs to panic.
No, I think it's the expectations, right? Get back to the expectations where it's not going to be 3 days on the market, 20 offers, 50 grand over list price, and you get, everything, and it's more of a fun market, I think, to be in for everybody.
What are these things called again?
Dum-dums.
Dum-dum. 3 dum-dums.
That's pretty.